Hello everybody, welcome back to the podcast, The Bible for Kids. Yesterday we read out of the story of creation, and today we will be learning about Adam and Eve, the story of the first humans that God created on the earth. And we're going to be reading about the Garden of Eden too, and the first sin. Okay, so let's get right into it. I'm reading out of the Catholic Picture Bible. I'll be reading out of that for the whole podcast. So, yep. Let's get into it. Chapter 2, Adam and Eve in Paradise. God called the first man Adam. Adam had an extremely clear and bright mind. He loved God and tried in every way to please him. God told Adam to rule all the other creatures. Since God wanted Adam to be happy, he planted a beautiful garden called the Garden of Eden, or Paradise, for him to live in it. There were all kinds of trees, plants, flowers, and fruits in this garden. Beasts and birds came to Adam, and he gave them names. In the middle of the garden, God also planted the tree of knowledge of good and evil. God said to Adam, "You may eat of the fruit of every other tree in the garden, but you must not eat the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. If you eat of it, you shall die." God put Adam to sleep, and taking one of his ribs, formed out of it a woman. When Adam awoke, God gave him the woman for his companion. Her name was Eve, which means mother of all living. Adam and Eve were very happy in paradise because they loved God and were in God's grace. The tree of life kept them from sickness and death. They were to live forever. Adam had all that he wanted. He knew that he would always be happy as long as he served God. He was to pass his happiness on to all who came after him, but he had to be tested to prove that he was worthy of this great blessing. Satan was jealous. He tempted Eve to disobey God one day when she was near the tree of knowledge of good and evil. He came to her in the form of a serpent and said to her, "You shall not die if you eat the fruit of this tree. You will be like God, knowing good and evil." Eve was led to sin because she listened to the devil. She ate the fruit of the garden and gave some to Adam, who also ate. At once they were filled with shame and fear. God called Adam and Eve and asked them why they had eaten of the forbidden fruit. They tried to excuse themselves. After God told Adam that he would have to work hard all the days of his life, and that he and his wife would have to die, he expelled them from the Garden of Paradise. Then God said to the serpent, "I will put hatred between you and the woman. She shall crush your head." God promised that the rule of Satan over mankind would be broken by the child whom a man would bring into the world. This child was to be the Redeemer of the human race, and the Blessed Virgin Mary would be his mother. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening to this podcast throughout the 2 episodes. Just started the podcast. Thank you so much for listening. So we just learned about the Adam and Eve and how they betrayed God for the first sin in the world, and this is why we are not perfect. They were driven out of paradise because of their sin. God told them not to eat out of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, but they did anyway. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you guys liked it today. Tomorrow we will be talking about the story of Cain and Abel, the children of Adam and Eve. So I hope you like this episode. See you tomorrow.